and Tato. Congrats on getting first again, continuing your streak. How are you? How are you? I just ate some Lucky Charms, some cereal, so I'm kind of cold right now. I'm kind of cold. Hi, Elon. Thank you for being here. Hi, Thor. Thank you for being here. You guys are doing okay. Mwah. Congrats on getting first again in Tato. Congrats. Continuing your streak. I don't know. How long is that streak? How long is that? 4 days, maybe? Thank you for the 20 stream streak in Tato. Thank you. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think Chang got pretty close. It was like a day away from getting 100, and then he had to go on like a plane trip or something, and then he couldn't catch the stream to get his 100-day streak. Or 20 stream streak. Or 100 stream streak. I can talk. I can think. But hi, Elon. Hope you're doing alright, dear. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Why the blushies? I like the blushy. I think I did a good job with it. Hashtag humble brag. It's cute. You're cute. Thank you for using them. Thank you for using them. So I thought I might be getting sick this morning after I woke up, but I think I just slept weird and like strained a muscle in like my neck or something, and was just really dehydrated when I woke up. I think that's what happened. I must have strained my something yesterday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm probably not getting sick. Probably not. Well, in a few months. It's been like a year since I've been sick. I got really sick in like June or July for like 2 weeks. And then I had a cough for like another month. It sucked. My brother brought it home. He went on like a little like a day hiking trip or something with some friends up the mountains, and then like 2 or 3 of them knew they were sick or something, and they still went. And then my brother brought it home, and then he got everyone else sick, and it sucked. It was terrible. So I'm gonna try to sleep my... Did I say sleep my? I'm gonna try to fix my sleep schedule. I'm gonna try to fix it. I'm gonna try. We'll see. Did I save the, okay. What's this stream info? It is ASMR. Okay. Oh. That's a long question. Okay. Let me drink some water real quick. Oh no. Okay. If I had to spend 10,000 of my savings, would I rather use the funds to start a business that might fail, could lose initial investment, or sunglasses? Commission a fully bespoke digi fursuit. The next 2 years and guaranteed enjoyment. Obviously, not financial advice. Of course, obviously. If I had $10,000, that'd be pretty cool. Hi, Mercury. Hi, Spirit. How are you? Like a VTuber model? I'm not sure. I don't know if Elon can hear me because of the ad break, but I think I'd need clarification on what a digi fursuit is. Is it like one with like a protogen face? I don't know. But hi, Mercury. Sorry, I muted the mic with my nose again. I haven't done that in a while. Mwah. Hi, Mercury. Hi. I don't know if you can hear me, but hi, Mercury. Hi. Oh, like digitigrade. Okay. Gotcha. Did I say that word right? Digitigrade? Digitigrade? I mean, that'd be pretty cool. And it's also less work than starting a business. I said, let's go. Let's go. I'm no biologist, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I don't know. Are bears digitigrade? Are bears plantigrade? Digitigrade. They're plantigrade. Okay. Humans, raccoons, mice. Mice makes sense, yeah. I guess I never thought about it like that. Start the business and get more gear for streaming. What's plantigrade? That's how our feet work. So, digitigrade is when an animal walks on its toes, like a dog. Like a dog is walking on its toes, its tippy toes, all the time, because the the bend in its leg that goes backwards before its knee, that's its ankle. That's its ankle. Plantigrade is when their whole foot, the whole foot, is flat. So we're plantigrade. There are, I believe, digitigrade have advantage. Digitigrade walking has advantage with like running or something like that because you have less friction or something like that. I don't know. A lot of like wolves, and I'm pretty sure big cats are digitigrade too. So are birds. Birds are too. Yeah. What are ungulagrade? Is that like sheep and stuff? Interesting. Okay. That's a good question, Elon. I would never thought of that. But hi, Mercury. Hi. Mwah. Hope you're doing alright. Hope you're a good start to your year. Good to see you. That's a cute emote. That's a cute jackalope. So if I don't know what animal the fursuit would be based on, because bears aren't digitigrade. I'd rather just get a teddy bear fursuit. Put the sauce to the side or on top of her fries? It depends. It depends on how many dishes I want to use, I suppose. Well, if I have room on one plate or whatever, right? I'll just put it to the side because you like dipping. Because sometimes, like I've put my fries and stuff in the bowl with the sauce, and then they just get soggy after a while when you get to the last few, because they've been like soaking it up. It's I don't know, it can be good. It just depends. But, like if it's a waffle fry, depends how big the waffle fry is. Because sometimes waffle fries are hard to dip in those little like tubs that you get at fast food places. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question too, That's a good question. But I'd probably do the fursuit, Elon, because I don't know anything about running a business at all. But I don't know. If I could like make a living making puppets, that'd be cool. But yes. I listen to ASMR every night. Actually, not the hardest start one. Well, maybe one day. Probably not anytime soon. I listen to ASMR every night. The paperwork that hurts. Oh, I see. My favorite trigger is are smooches. Smooches are my favorite. Sorry. But like smooches, mouth sounds, and like super close-up whispers, and like super deep ear cleaning are like the only things that give me tingles. Like it's gotta be in there. It's gotta be in there to give me the tingle. Thank you for the other question, Elon. Thank you. That wasn't already, but thank you for the question. Thank you. I'd have to figure out what animal the fursuit would be based on. I guess if it's not digitigrade, it'd be a bear. If it is digitigrade, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like a super fuzzy velociraptor or something. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Like for a while. If I was like committed to commissioning one, of course. I'd have to think about it. Mwah. I'm not sure what animal it would be. Not sure. Well, I think like a super fuzzy dinosaur would be fun. I don't know. Probably just a fuzzy dinosaur. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I ended up on my nose. Did you guys have anything yummy today? What was that squeaking noise? Did you guys hear that? What was that? Maybe that was... I don't know what that was. Maybe that was my chair? I had my bowl of veggies and I had some of the leftover barbecue pulled chicken. Or is it pulled barbecue chicken? Chicken pulled chicken barbecue. Pulled barbecue chicken feels off. I had some of that was left over on a bun, and then I didn't eat again until like 20 minutes ago, a little before stream. I had some Lucky Charms. And it was cold, and I was kind of cold after I ate it. But also, we're kind of close to 100 subs on YouTube. Kinda. We're at 88 right now. Understandably so, because I just upload VODs over there, so there's no like edited content. Some of the ASMR VODs have been doing pretty well, all things considered, compared to numbers I was getting like a month ago, maybe, which is neat. It's fun. Okay, we're not dropping frames. We're just checking because the creator dashboard said my bitrate was unstable. It still says it. I don't know. Stream seems to be fine. Alright, really it's not too bad. Sorry, that was me moving my hand in front of my face to see how bad the delay was. Okay, not that bad. It's not that bad. Not that bad. But definitely don't want to stream for 3 or 4 hours again tonight. Don't think I want to do that tonight. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry for the burp.
So, I believe most of the stuff on Crunchyroll's seasonal lineup this season has released. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not, but I feel like most of it has. But maybe, actually, maybe not. It feels like a lot is already released. Like, it already feels like maybe a season's worth of anime has released, but we still have. So I'm releasing tomorrow and then through the end of this week. I think, let's see. Thursday, Wednesday. That already released. January 12th. It seems the 12th is the last day. Yeah. So everything will be released. Will be out. The first episode of everything will be out on Saturday. Tomorrow's the 9th. Thursday. Sunday. Is Sunday the 12th? Am I crazy? Is Sunday the 12th?
The Handyman Isekai? I liked that one. That one was kind of like, it was cozy, and then the ending was like, whoa. They're going there? Okay. I don't know. I feel like it ended good, but like, the plot kind of got a little nuts. Got a little nuts. You didn't finish it? Okay. Well, I recommend you do. It was good. Cozy? Or is that pronounced cozy? I don't know. Hi, Cosmic! So wait, people's names are pink. Oh, not right. Cozy? Gotcha. There we go. Please go follow Cosmic. Please, please, please. Cosmic is super sweet. They're super cozy. They have a lovely voice that is very fun to listen to. Like, their voice is made for some, I don't know, to be heard is a good voice. A unique voice, and it's a good thing. You took pink because it's funny to have it pink. A lot of people like pink. There's Cosmic and Tato, Haku, CJ. It is. It's a good color. It's a good color. I like pink. Pink is good. But hi, Cosmic. Hope you're doing alright. Cosy, if it's easier, I will try. Most people do? Okay. I don't know if my brain will retain that information. But we'll see. Glad to be here. Well, I'm glad to have you. Thank you, Cosmic. See, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. But we'll see. It's just gonna take a second to get used to it. Sorry, my dad's asking me to go take a picture of his 3D printer. So, um, my dad got a new printer last week, and um, he's been playing with it. He's printing those. I don't know if you guys have seen those shorts, those YouTube shorts or whatever, of the the tower thing, and you put the spinning ball through it, and it goes shoop, right? Because the like spins and right. They're actually pretty fun fidget toys. They're fun to play with. Um, so whatever's more comfy for me. Thank you, Cosmic. Thank you. I've just been saying Cosmic for so long. But I'll be back in like a minute. I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go take a picture of my dad's 3D printer. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hopefully it didn't take too long. Alright, there we go. Yeah, my dad got a new printer. He has quite a few now. This one isn't as loud. So his office is the room next to mine, and he had one of his older ones, or his first printer. Uh, the the plate would go up and down or back and forth, and then the extruder head would move around too, and it'd go whew, 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 whew. And it was on a table against the wall. So sometimes when I was trying to sleep, I'd hear the wall would the wall next to my bed would be like vibrating and go. Yeah. Interesting. But this new one, the the extruder head is attached to the top of the printer frame, and the plate goes down as it prints. So it's also like a quarter of the size. But good to see you, Cosmic. Hope you feel well. Hope you feel well. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, one of my cousins likes pink. And I don't think I was there. But he was wearing pink. Like, he got a pink button up shirt for, like, church or something. And my other cousin, his older brother, my dad was like, "Oh, a nice pink shirt, or you're wearing pink." And then my cousin's older brother went, "Yeah, he picked that color. Like, why is he wearing pink?" I don't think he cares anymore, but it was kind of funny. It's just pink. Calm down. Was it pink or salmon? It was pink. It wasn't salmon. Maybe a salmon-y pink. I don't know. I remember it being pretty pink.
Feels like that breath is on my ears. It kind of makes me tingle most of the time.
So I don't think I've ever eaten salmon either. I don't eat fish very often. The fish I like it tuna, or at least canned tuna on a sandwich. That's yummy. It was still is one of my favoriteest things to eat. Since I was little, I would ask my grandma for a tuna sandwich. There was one time we were out of tuna, and my grandma said, "Well, we don't have any tuna, but we have canned ham. Is that okay?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." I was like 3. I don't know. I don't know. I was not very old. I was pretty young, and it was like it blew my. It was so good. It's so good. All I do is just mix the can of ham. Well, you drain the can first. You don't want the ham juice because it dilutes everything. Then you put that in a bowl, the canned ham into a bowl. And then you get some mayonnaise, put that in the bowl, then mix it up. Sometimes I put like garlic powder in there or something. And you put it on toasted bread for a sandwich, and it's good, and it fills you up for like the whole afternoon because it's a lot, but also that's a lot of salt, I'm pretty sure. So It's not an everyday thing. It's a sometimes meal. If you want to get me those ham sandwiches, I have a case of Hormel canned ham on my throne wish list. Please don't. It's you do not need to do that. But if you want to, it's there. I think it was like the first thing I put on my throne. I think. It's the bear. It's Crit. Hi, Crit. How are you? Mwah. Hi. How are you, Crit? Hope you're doing okay. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. You're great. Glad to hear. Glad to hear it. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Goodness gracious. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. You can get the same effect to a certain extent with a bottle of balsamic vinegar, if it's the right brand. The ones that have the thin neck and the big round bottom of the bottle, because these are tear-shaped ice globes. You get in the bottle of balsamic vinegar I have on the counter upstairs is a similar shape, but more round and the bottom's flat, so you don't get as great of bubbles. It's also bigger, so they're more bouncy. Maybe I'll have to grab it. We can try it on Friday if I remember. We got it to dip pieces of bread in for the New Year's snack. think you can get like 5 bubbles out of these if you're slow. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. 12 bubbles. That's like double what I. You can get that's if you go like super slow though. Because if I just turn it, you get like 3 or 4 bubbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, something like that. These have, it's blue dyed water, if it is water, and blue and green. Maybe it's all blue, I don't know. Or like iridescent glitter that's, I guess, looks blue because of the blue water. I don't know. So it's sparkly. And it's not making any. It's not making the same sound after I shook it. Why is that? It's not going ting 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 ting. Why is that? Because it's settling. Why is it doing that? Interesting. What about this one? Okay. And if I shake this, what science? That's pretty cool. Is it because there's more bubbles? There's a lot more air bubbles and they're absorbing the shock to the glass. Is that what's going on here? That's so weird. But also pretty cool. Weird. Okay, so has this one gone back to normal now? Kind of. The glitter is sticking to the air bubbles. Or they're trapped in air bubbles. Weird. That's super cool though. Anyway, you want smooches? Okay, Tato. Do you want me to surprise you again, or you want a specific type of smooches? Oh, sorry. That was loud. That was the handle to my water jug. Sorry. Surprise you? Okay. Go in, Tato. Hope those were okay for you. Thank you for the redeem tier. Thank you. So, are you back to normal now? I wonder if that's why the other one sounds weird. It doesn't. I guess we just have to let them sit for a bit, and then we can tap on them to get the good tappy sounds. Excuse me, that's still pretty cool. I wonder why they do that. Hi, Jackie. Thank you for being here. You don't have to go. You can stay. But thank you, Jackie. You're very sweet. Sorry for that weird throat noise. Should we read more Wikipedia? Should we read more Wikipedia? What would we read about, though? What would we read about? Let's see. So we're going to about a game we like. See, is there a Wikipedia article page for it? Oh, sorry. Okay. We're gonna read the Wikipedia article page for Impossible Creatures. Probably my most favoritist game ever. The game came out in 2003? Google says 2001. What? Did I find the wrong date? That's a book. Okay, so the Impossible Creatures fan wiki here says December 29th, 2002. And Wikipedia says January 7th, 2003. But I recall it being like 2001. It probably wasn't, now that I think about it. It's probably 2003 or 2002. Why does this say 2003? Weird. Okay, I don't know. Maybe the family key's wrong. Alright. Impossible Creatures. This article is about the 2003 video game. For the 2023 children's novel, see Impossible Creatures book. Impossible Creatures is a 2003 steampunk real-time strategy game developed by Relic Entertainment and published by Microsoft Game Studios. Its unique feature is that the armies used in gameplay are all created by the player and involve combining two animals to make a new super creature with various abilities. The concept was inspired by H.G. Wells' novel The Island of Dr. Moreau. Moreau? I didn't know that. I'll have to look in that book then. The player-created armies are capped at 9 creatures. Each one is a combination of any 2 animals from a list of 51 with no downloads. Many animals possess inherent abilities, and players can multiple such abilities or compensate for weaknesses as they plan units and armies. There is an extensive single-player campaign as well as online multiplayer functionality with different game modes, add-ons, custom maps, mods, and scenarios. Impossible Creatures was followed up later by a free downloadable expansion entitled Insect Invasion, which added new creatures and abilities to the game. The last official add-on for Impossible Creatures was released in 2004. What was that one called? On November 12th, 2015, Impossible Creatures was released on Steam as Impossible Creatures Steam Edition by THQ Nordic. Relic Entertainment and Sega relinquished the rights of Impossible Creatures to THQ Nordic after it was revealed that neither THQ nor Microsoft Studios owned the rights to the video game. Why is Sega involved? The Steam version includes all patches and expansion packs released in the past. The Impossible Creatures online servers re-implemented through Steam's cloud service, and the game's modding software development kit included in the package alongside the mission editor originally available within the game's files. The Steam Workshop support came out in patch 3. The Steam edition is also optimized for modern computer systems and software. The game was also released on GOG.com shortly after it appeared on Steam. Gameplay. The campaign. This mode consists of 15 different missions spanning over a group of islands in the South Pacific known as the Isla Varietas, indicating the variety of environments. Environments presented to the player ranging from jungles, deserts, or Arctic regions. The protagonist, Rex Chance, is required to collect animal DNA throughout the campaign in order to add more animal varieties to his army of combined creatures. Multiplayer. There are three game types available during multiplayer mode, which allows for up to 6 players at once. In Destroy Enemy Lab, the first to destroy the enemy's laboratories is the winner. Due to the strategy of destroying an opponent's lab without actually defeating their army, Relic in its mod Insect Invasion added a defense shield that can be researched and then turned on to protect the lab at the cost of 39 points of electricity per second. In Destroy Enemy Base, the winner is the first to destroy all enemy buildings, including the lab. In Hunt Rex, each player is given a special unit, Rex Chance, and players must hunt down and kill other participants' Rex Chance units. I've never heard about that one. That's cool. Multiplayer games can be played via the IC Online ICO service, via a LAN connection, or by connecting directly to the host player's IP address. Plot. Dr. Eric Chanikov was one of the brightest scientific minds in history, but after a failed experiment caused the Tunguska event and kills his wife. Is that real? It's real? The Tunguska event is real? Hold on. I'm getting goosebumps. This article is huge. It's huge. Alright, let's just read the description of this then, or the introduction here. The Tunguska event was a large explosion between 3 and 50 megatons that occurred near the Podkamenia Tunguska River in Yanciak Governorate, now Transoyorsk Krai, Russia, on the morning of the 30th of June, 1908. The explosion over the sparsely populated East Siberian taiga flattened an estimated 80 million trees over an area of 2,150 kilometers squared. Or that's 830 square miles of forest. And eyewitness accounts suggest up to 3 people may have died. The explosion is generally attributed to a meteor airburst, the atmospheric explosion of a stony asteroid about 50 to 60 meters, 160 to 200 feet wide. That's huge. The asteroid approached from the east-southeast, probably with a relatively high speed of about 27 kilometers a second or 60,000 miles an hour. Wow! Though the incident is classified as an impact event, the object is thought to have exploded at an altitude of 5 to 10 kilometers, or 3 to 6 miles, rather than hitting the Earth's surface, leaving no impact crater. The Tunguska event is the largest impact event on Earth in recorded history. Though much larger impacts occurred in prehistoric times, an explosion of this magnitude would be capable of destroying a large metropolitan area. The event has been depicted in numerous works of fiction. The equivalent Torino scale reading for the impactor is 8, a certain collision with local destruction. That's crazy. I think I remember seeing Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about this and how if it's like, and this asteroid was only at most 200 feet wide, and it leveled 830 square miles of forest, and it even touched the planet. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's nuts. Holy smokes. Okay, so now we know what the Tunguska event is, and it's real. Okay, so the plot to Impossible Creatures is Dr. Eric Chernikov was one of the brightest scientific minds in history, but after a failed experiment causes the Tunguska event and kills his wife, he goes into willing exile at a chain of remote islands. There, he reports the creation of the Sigma technology, a method which makes it possible to fuse 2 creatures together into a single organism. These reports are ignored by the scientific and mainstream communities. In 1937, believing that his last days are upon him, Chernikov sends a letter to his son Rex asking him to visit. Rex, a disgraced war reporter going by the name Rex Chance, travels to the archipelago, discovering that his father died at the hands of the evil tycoon Optin Julius. He vows to avenge his father's murder. He is assisted by the late Chernikov's assistant, Dr. Lucy Willing. With her help, Rex quickly learns the power of the Sigma technology they were working on, as well as more about his family's past. As he spends time around the Sigma technology, latent abilities are made manifest within him. These abilities make him increasingly superhuman, allowing him to directly assist his Sigma creatures in battle. Lucy and Rex's progress is slowed by those loyal to Julius. Whitey Hooten, a whaler whose Sigma-created creatures are slow and powerful. Velika Lepet, a high-strung aristocrat who relies on aerial units. And Dr. Ganglion, a mad scientist fond of using creatures most would call abominations. Each main enemy has control over an island chain with different climates, from winter conditions to tropical to desert. Julius is confronted and defeated at the end of the game. The reasoning behind Rex's latent abilities is at last revealed. He is the accidental first product of the Sigma technology, a human combined with thousands of animal traits, which explains why Rex has developed these abilities throughout the game. As the game closes, Rex is shown with his pupils missing, a trait common among Sigma-created creatures. I got goosebumps reading it. Oh my goodness. I want to play Impossible Creatures now. Good night, Intato. Sleep well. Good day. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. I forgot that his pupils go missing at the end. So, Impossible Creatures has a very I like its art style. So, but every creature that you create in the game just has blank white eyes. They don't have pupils. I thought that was like a stylistic choice. But apparently not. It's just a trait of Sigma created creatures. And I forgot Rex loses his pupils at the end of the game. Anyway, we haven't gotten a sequel, I don't think. We definitely have not gotten a sequel, and we probably never will. Because I think Relic went back to making Homeworld or space RTS games after Impossible Creatures, because that's what they were known for. Okay. Development. The game was originally called Sigma: The Adventures of Rex Chance. According to early previews, players had to tranquilize creatures to bring them back to the base to collect their DNA. In the final product, though, it is enough for Rex to shoot a creature to collect its DNA. This only applies to the single-player campaign. In a regular multiplayer skirmish, all creatures are already available. Although it would not be released on Steam until 2015, Impossible Creatures was one of the first titles that Valve used to demonstrate Steam in 2003. This was probably due to Valve and Relic's close relationship, as both had worked with Sierra Online. The development of the 2015 remastered edition involved recreating much of Relic's post-launch work on the SDK and Insect Invasion add-on, as well as rewriting the multiplayer networking for Steam and modern firewalls. Before and after the Steam re-release, the Tellurian mod, which has a campaign I have not played, it's very hard. I've tried, it's very difficult. Which adds many creatures, maps, and balancing tweaks, became a large focal point for the game's community. In fact, fixes made by the Tellurian mod developers were integrated back into the base game in an official patch. Excuse me. The game received average reviews according to video game review aggregator Metacritic. Maxim gave it a score of 8 out of 10, saying that once you get past all the gamesmanship, you can concentrate on bitch-slapping Mother Nature by creating twisted beasts that would make Jack Hanna brown his khakis. However, the Cincinnati Inquirer gave it 3.5 stars out of 5 and said that its gameplay doesn't match the title's ingenious premise. Entertainment Weekly gave it a C, saying, if most real-time strategy titles are elaborate versions of rock, paper, scissors, Impossible Creatures is the world's most sophisticated game of rock. But it's fair. I can see that. I suppose. And that's the end. Yeah, so they did Homeworld, and then they made Impossible Creatures, and then they went back to doing Homeworld, I think. They also made some Warhammer games. They made the first Space Marine game, apparently. That's cool. They made Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Interesting. Cool. I didn't know that the events of the game are set off by the Tunguska event, and that was even real. Or I knew about the event, but I didn't know that its name. That's really cool. Neat. I'm glad it talks about the Tellurian mod, because it's a big deal. If you want to play Impossible Creatures, please do. I really love the game. But I've been playing it since I was like 3 years old, maybe since I was 2? Maybe because my dad, I don't know where my dad got it, but he got the demo disc for Impossible Creatures, which don't think you could make armies, but you had a limited selection of animals. I think you only had access to animals that were level 1 to 3. Because I remember the enemy had a flying snowy owl killer whale, and it had, I think it was just, I think it had the head of a killer whale and the tail of a killer whale, and the rest was owl. I remember, oh, Dad, that's cool. Like, yeah, we can't make that one though. We don't have the killer whale. I think it was like coyote. I think it was most of the animals that you get in the first handful of levels, in the snow levels. Um, so Impossible Creatures has been uh, in my life for a very long time, as long as I can remember. I thought the game came out in 2001. Apparently not. It was 2002, and then according to the fan wiki, and then 2003 according to the Wikipedia article. Hi, CJ. Mwah. I'm good. We're just reading some Wikipedia. We just finished reading the Wikipedia article for Impossible Creatures. Oh yeah, what's the island of Dr. Moreau? What's that one? I'm curious. I'm curious what this is, because it apparently inspired the game. Hi, Brad. You want smooches? Okay, let me drink some water real quick. About the human animals. I haven't read it. Fan scratches. Hi, Brad. Okay, here's your smooches.
Good. Oh, let's see. What did you do smooches first? Oh, do you want breathy smooches, Brad? Hi, while running. Hi. How are you? I am about to do Brett's smooch reading, so if you don't like the sound of smooches, just heads up. No, I've never really watched Simpsons. My parents watched it when I was really little, and then they stopped watching it as I got older, because, you know. Okay, sorry. No, I just heard about the book because apparently it was an inspiration for Impossible Creatures.
Thank you for the bit while running. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry. I have my desktop audio muted, so it did go through. Just didn't hear that.
Thank you for that bit. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, that gets you points? I didn't know giving bits gives you points, but that makes sense. That makes sense now that I think about it. Yeah. That makes sense.
Thank you for the bit, though. Thank you. And when they're ready, thank you. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Totally understandable. For sure. For sure. Mine's not as good as sucrose's. Mine's definitely not as good as sucrose's. Well, when I'm doing ASMR, maybe not. I don't know. But when I'm just streaming, it's not very good. Cause I can't get up to the mic, when I'm just doing a regular stream, and do like a breathy or Okay, Brett. Here's your good, Brett. And then we'll do your scratches, okay? Good, Brett. Good, Brett. Good, Brett. Good, Brett. Brett, thank you for being here. Thank you. It's always good to see you. Thank you for spending time with me on the streams and chatting and lurking. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Brad. Okay, that's a nice emote. That's a nice emote. Good, Brad. Good, Brad. Brad, thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. I think it makes the world a better place. Anyway, in my humble opinion. Good, Brad. Good, Brad.
Sorry about that. Your thighs one day. I see. Well, you misspelled thighs, so it's never happening. But hi, Brad. We're doing all right. Good to see you. I'm kidding. Good bread. Good bread. Mwah. Such a good bread. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Such a good bread. Mwah. Good bread. Good bread. Look at you being such a good bread. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good bread. Mwah. Mwah. Good bread. Good bread. Such a good bread. Mwah. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Such a good bread. Mwah. There you go, bread. Just your scratches now? Just those 3, right? Okay. Just the scratches. Gotcha. Your life is open now. Oh, bread. Poor bread. Poor bread. Well, bread isn't being too needy tonight. Not being too needy. You want fast scratches? Like this? Is this fast enough? I don't know if I can go faster than this. I don't know if I can go faster than this.
scratch, scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch.
What's that emote? Hee hee. Oh, okay. What stream is found that pun? No, Bread's not always needy. There was a few nights where Bread put like a crying emote at the end of every one of their messages. They had like a streak of 12. Oh, is there something else? That's a pretty fast nod emote. Yep. But I don't mind Bread being needy. I don't mind. It's part of Bread's charm, you could say. Here you go, Bread. Thank you for the redeems. Was that enough scratching for you? Good enough? Well, Brad, if you want one of these, when I get enough like ideas on what I want to do for it, I can do an RP video like that if you'd like. That's a good emote. That's a good emote for a Bread. Alright. I'll try to come up with some ideas then. You get tired of the other RP videos, Brad? They have been out since like October, so it makes sense. Makes sense. But there's those ones. Okay. Let's read the Wikipedia article for the island of Dr. Moreau, because I want to know what this is. Because it inspired my favorite video game. Or, Alright, let's see here. For other uses, see the island of Dr. Moreau disambiguation. The Island of Dr. Moreau is an 1896 science fiction novel by English author H.G. Wells. It was published on the 1st of January 1896. The novel is set between the 21st of January 1887 to the 5th of January 1888. Okay. The text of the novel is the narration of Edward Pendrick, a shipwrecked man rescued by a passing boat. He is left on the island home of Dr. Moreau, a mad scientist who creates human-like hybrid beings from animals via vivisection. The novel details with a number of themes, including pain and cruelty, moral responsibility, human identity, human interference with nature, and the effects of trauma. Wells described it as an exercise in youthful blasphemy. The Island of Dr. Moreau is a classic work of early science fiction and remains one of Wells' best-known books. The novel is the earliest depiction of the science fiction motif uplift. in which a more advanced race intervenes in the evolution of an animal species to bring the latter to a higher level of intelligence. It has been adapted to film and other media on many occasions. Plot. Edward Pendrick is an Englishman with a scientific education who survives the shipwreck of his boat, the Lady Vane, in the southern Pacific Ocean. A passing ship called Ipequahana takes him aboard, and a man named Montgomery revives him. Pendrick also meets a grotesque bestial native named Mling, who appears to be Montgomery's manservant. The ship is transporting a number of animals which belong to Montgomery, most strangely a puma. As they approach the island, which is Montgomery's destination, the captain demands Pendrick leave the ship with Montgomery. Montgomery explains that he will not be able to host Pendrick on the island. Despite this, the captain leaves Pendrick in a dinghy and sails away. Seeing that the captain has abandoned Pendrick, Montgomery takes pity and rescues him. As ships rarely pass the island, Pendrick will be housed in an outer room of an enclosed compound. The island belongs to Dr. Moreau. Pendrick remembers that he has heard of Moreau, formerly an eminent physiologist in London whose gruesome experiments in vivisection had been publicly exposed, and who fled Great Britain as a result of his exposure. On the next day, Moreau begins working on the puma, eventually revealed as being experimented into a woman. Prendick, not Pendrick, Prendick. Prendick gathers that Moreau is performing a painful experiment on the animal, and its anguished cries drive Prendick out into the jungle. While he wanders, he comes upon a group of people who seem human but have an unmistakable resemblance to swine. As he walks back to the enclosure, he suddenly realizes he is being followed by a figure in the jungle. He panics and flees, and the figure gives chase. As his pursuer bears down on him, Prendick manages to stun him with a stone, observes that the pursuer is a monstrous hybrid of animal and man. When Prendick returns to the enclosure and questions Montgomery refuses to be open with him. After failing to get an explanation, Prendick finally gives in and takes a sleeping draught, which is like a pill or something. Okay. Prendick awakes the next morning with the previous night's activities fresh in his mind. Seeing that the door to Moreau's operating room has been left unlocked, he walks in to find a humanoid form lying in bandages on the table before he is ejected by a shocked and angry Moreau. He believes that Moreau has been vivisecting humans and that he is the next test subject. He flees into the jungle where he meets an ape man who takes him to a colony of similarly half-human, half-animal creatures, including a sloth man. Their leader is a large, gray, unspecified creature named the Sayer of the Law, who has him recite a strange litany called the Law that involves prohibitions against bestial behavior and praise for Moreau. Not to go on all fours, that is the law. Are we not men? Not to suck up drink, that is the law. Are we not men? Not to eat fish or flesh, that is the law. Are we not men? Not to claw the bark of trees, that is the law. Are we not men? Not to chase other men, that is the law. Are we not men? Suddenly, Dr. Moreau bursts into the colony looking for Prendick, but Prendick escapes into the jungle. He makes for the ocean, where he plans to drown himself rather than allow Moreau to experiment on him. Moreau explains that the creatures called the Beast Folk were not formerly men, but rather animals. Prendick returns to the enclosure, where Moreau explains that he has been on the island for 11 years and has been striving to make a complete transformation of an animal to a human. He explains that while he is getting closer to perfection, his subjects have a habit of reverting to their animal form and behavior. Moreau regards the pain he inflicts as insignificant and an unavoidable side effect in the name of his scientific experiments. He also states that pain is an animalistic instinct that one who is truly human cannot have. hitting his thigh with a penknife with no apparent reaction to further prove his point. One day, Prendick and Montgomery encounter a half-eaten rabbit. Since eating flesh and tasting blood are strong prohibitions, Dr. Moreau calls an assembly of the beast folk and identifies the leopard man, the same one that chased Prendick the first time he wandered into the jungle, as the transgressor. Knowing that he will be sent back to Dr. Moreau's compound for more painful sessions of vivisection, the leopard man flees. Eventually, the group corners him in some undergrowth, but Prendick takes pity and shoots him to spare him from further suffering. Prendick also believes that although the leopard man was seen breaking several laws, such as drinking water bent down like an animal, chasing men himself, and running on all fours, the leopard man was not solely responsible for the deaths of the rabbits. It was also the hyena swine, the next most dangerous beast man on the island. Dr. Moreau is furious that Prendick killed the leopard man, but can do nothing about the situation. As time passes, Prendick becomes injured to the grotesqueness inured to the grotesqueness of the beast folk. However, one day, the half-finished Puma woman rips free of her restraints and escapes from the lab. Dr. Moreau pursues her, but the two end up fighting each other, leading to their mutual deaths. Montgomery breaks down and decides to share his alcohol with the beast folk. Prendick resolves to leave the island, but later hears a commotion outside in which Montgomery, his servant Mling, and the Sayer of the Law die after a scuffle with the beast folk. At the same time, the compound burns down because Prendick has knocked over a lamp, with no chance of saving any of the provisions stored in the enclosure. Prendick realizes that Montgomery has also destroyed the only boats on the island during the night. Prendick lives with the beast folk on the island for months after the deaths of Moreau and Montgomery. As time goes by, the beast folk increasingly revert to their original animal instincts, beginning to hunt the island's rabbits, returning to walking on all fours, and leaving their shared living areas for the wild. They cease to follow Prendick's instructions. Eventually, the hyena swine kills Prendick's faithful dog-man companion created from a Saint Bernard. With the help from the sloth creature, Prendick shoots the hyena swine in self-defense. Prendick's efforts to build a raft have been unsuccessful. Luckily for him, a lifeboat that carries two corpses drifts onto the beach, perhaps the captain of the ship that picked Prendick up and a sailor. Prendick uses the boat to leave the island and is picked up 3 days later. When he tells his story, he is thought to be mad, so he feigns amnesia. Upon his return to England, Prendick is no longer comfortable in the presence of humans, all of whom seem to him to be about to revert to an animal state. He leaves London and lives in near solitude in the countryside, devoting himself to chemistry and astronomy, in the studies of which he finds some peace. And then there's a big long list of main characters. Okay, we have humans. Edward Prendick, the narrator and protagonist. Dr. Moreau, a mad vivisectionist who has fled upon his experiments being exposed and has moved to a remote island in the Pacific Ocean to pursue his research of perfecting his beast folk. Montgomery, Dr. Moreau's assistant and Prendick's rescuer, a physician who enjoyed a measure of happiness in England. He is an alcoholic who feels some sympathy for the beast folk. The beast folk. The beast folk are animals which Moreau has experimented upon, giving them human traits via vivisection, for which the surgery is extremely painful. They include Mling, Montgomery's servant who does the cooking and cleaning. Moreau combined a bear, a dog, and an ox to create him. As Prendick describes Mling, he states that Mling is a complex trophy of Moreau's skill, a bear tainted with dog and ox, and one of the most elaborately made of all the creatures. He has glowing eyes and furry ears. Mling later dies protecting Montgomery from the other beast folk on the beach. Sayer of the Law, a large gray-haired animal of unspecified combinations, though Edward notices his gray hair is similar to that of a Skye terrier, okay, that recites Dr. Moreau's teachings about being men to the other beast folk. The sayer of the law serves as a governor and a priest to the beast folk. He is later killed in an unseen scuffle between Montgomery, Engling, and the beast folk. Ape Man, an unspecified ape creature that considers himself equal to Prendick and refers to himself and Prendick as 5 men. Excuse me, because they both have 5 fingers on each hand, which is uncommon among the beast folk. He is the first beastman other than Imling to whom Prendick speaks. He was what he refers to as big. He has what he refers to as big thinks, which on his return to England, Prendick likens to a priest's sermon at the pulpit. Sloth creature, a small pink sloth-based creation described by Prendick as resembling a flayed child. Oh my goodness. He's one of the more relatively benign creatures and helps Prendick kill the hyena swine before fully regressing. The hyena swine, a carnivorous hybrid of a hyena and a pig who becomes Prendick's enemy in the wake of Dr. Moreau's death. He's later killed by Prendick in self-defense. Leopard Man, a leopard-based rebel who breaks the law by running on all fours, drinking from the stream and chasing Prendick. The Leopard Man is killed by Prendick to spare him further pain, much to the dismay of Dr. Moreau. Oxmen, a group of grey ox-based creatures who appear twice, first when Prendick is introduced to the beast folk, and then again after Montgomery's death. Satyr Man, a hybrid of goat and an ape. Prendick describes him as an unsettling and satanic in form. Swinemen and Swinewomen, a group of pig-based beast folk who appeared during Prendick's introduction to the beast folk. Mare Rhinoceros creature, a hybrid between a horse and a rhinoceros who appeared during Prendick's introduction to the beast folk. Wolfmen and Wolfwomen, the group of wolf-based beast folk who appeared during Prendick's introduction to the beast folk. Bear Bull Man, a hybrid of a bear and a male bovine who appeared during Prendick's introduction to the beast folk. Dog Man, a beast man created from a Saint Bernard who near the end of the book become Prendick's faithful companion. He is so like a domestic dog in character that Prendick is barely surprised when he reverts to a more animalistic form. The Dog Man is later killed by the hyena swine. Fox Bear Woman, a female hybrid of a fox and a bear who passionately supports the law. Prendick quickly takes a dislike to her and described her as being evil-smelling. Wolf Bear Man, a hybrid of wolf and bear who was mentioned during the hunt for the Leopard Man as hunting his fellow beast folk a wee bit too much. Half-finished Puma Woman, the last beast person created by Moreau. She is halfway through her process of being turned into one of the beast folk, but was in so much pain from the surgery that she uses her strength to break free of her restraints and escape. Moreau then chases after her with a revolver. He and the creature fight each other, which ends in a mutual kill. Ox Boar Man, a hybrid of an ox and a wild boar who appeared briefly following the death of Moreau. Ocelot Man, a beast man created from an ocelot and one of the smaller creatures which briefly appears after Moreau's death. He is shot by Montgomery during his scuffle with the beast folk on the beach. Historical context. At the time of the novel's publication in 1896, there was growing discussion in Europe of the possibility of the degeneration of the human race. Increasing opposition to animal vivisection led to formation of groups like the National Anti-Vivisection Society in 1875 and the British Union for the Abolition of Vivisection in 1898. The Island of Dr. Moreau reflects the ethical, philosophical, and scientific concerns and controversies raised by the themes and ideas of Darwinian evolution, which were so disrupting to social norms in the late 1800s. In his preface to the works of H.G. Wells, Volume 2, the Atlantic Edition, 1924, Wells explains that the Island of Dr. Moreau was inspired by the trial of Oscar Wilde. The Island of Dr. Oh, this is a quote from the book. that we just read the title of. The Island of Dr. Moreau was written in 1895 and was begun while The Wonderful Visit was still in hand. It is a theological grotesque, and the influence of Swift is very apparent in it. Swift? There was a scandalous trial about that time, the graceless and pitiful downfall of a man of genius, and his story was the response of an imaginative mind to the reminder that humanity is but animal rough-hewn to a reasonable shape, and in perpetual internal conflict between instinct and injunction. This story embodies this ideal, but apart from this embodiment, it has no allegorical quality. It is written just to give the utmost possible vividness to that conception of men as hewn and confused and tormented beasts. When the reader comes to read the writings upon history in this collection, he will find the same idea of man as a reshaped animal, no longer in flaming caricature, but as a weighed and settled conviction. Cool. I don't know if I grasped any of that, but okay. Cool. Alright. The Island of Dr. Moreau in Popular Culture. This is a dynamic list and may never be able to satisfy particular standards for completeness. Hi, Rengoku. You want some smooches? Okay. How are you, Rengoku? Hope you're doing alright. Hope you had a good Christmas or a good holiday and New Year's. Mwah. All right.
Mine was good, Rengoku. I got some vintage Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog plushies. I have a sad Kermit plushie now. You know, the plushie, the meme of the plushie hugging the phone. Or the one of him hugging his knees. That plushie, I have one of those now. I didn't go Christmas. I got Christmas.
There you go, Rengoku. Thank you for the smooch redeem. Hope those were okay for you. Thank you. We're reading Wikipedia right now. We read the Wikipedia page for Impossible Creatures, the 2003 video game, my most favoritist video game ever. And apparently it was inspired by this book by H.G. Wells called The Island of Dr. Moreau in Popular Culture. And we're reading the article for the book now. New puppets are always cool. Yeah, well, they're not puppets. They're just plushies. They're like beanbag plushies. But they're vintage, like 1975 or whenever they released. They're vintage and in pretty decent condition. Miss Piggy needs like a hairdo. She needs a nice brushing. But Kermit looks fine. Like Kermit does not look like you can tell Kermit's been played with. The plastic for Kermit's eyes have yellowed a bit, but they're pretty good. had a bad hair day. Yep. Yep. Thank you for the follow, Rookie M. Thank you, thank you. Hope you enjoy your stay. I'm Catch Up the Bear. I do ASMR streams every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And the rest of the week we play games. We're playing Monster Hunter Stories tomorrow, and we play an old Sega game every Saturday. This Saturday is Columns, and the week after next weekend after this weekend is Columns 2. So we have 2 weeks straight of Columns, which will be interesting. This is we're playing I'm playing every game on the Sega Genesis Classics collection at least once, because it got delisted from Steam on the 6th of December, and I don't have access to all the games that used to be on there. There used to be the Sonic games, but those got delisted from there because they made a Sonic collection. So I don't have access to the Sonic games except for a 3D Blast and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. But I'm dedicating one stream to each game. Last weekend was Bonanza Bros, which was a fun little heist game. But I hope you enjoyed the ASMR. We're just talking. I'm just reading some Wikipedia right now. I hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Mwah. If you have a favorite ASMR trigger, I would be happy to do it for you, as thanks for your follow. Excuse me. Why you're forcing yourself to replay Doki Doki? Why? Why would you do that, Rengoku? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Is Me-Side? Wasn't that made by the same dev team or the same company as Doki Doki? Unfinished achievements? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Understandable. But right now we're reading the Wikipedia page for The Island of Dr. Moreau, which is a novel by H.G. Wells. We are at the beginning of the section for The Island of Dr. Moreau in popular culture. If you would like to read along, you may. Wikipedia is free after all. Okay. This is a dynamic list and may never be able to satisfy particular standards for completeness. You can help by adding missing items with reliable sources. The novel has been adapted to films and other media on multiple occasions. In addition, the novel has influenced many fictional works. The following are some of the works which are related to the character of Dr. Moreau and his story. In literature, there's a lot of books, holy smokes. Okay. Maurice Renard's 1908 French novel, The Docteur Laird Saustier, was inspired by the island of Dr. Moreau and dedicated to H.G. Wells by its author. In Mikhail Bulgakov's novel Heart of a Dog, 1925, a Moscow surgeon, Dr. Preobrazhensky, transplants human organs into the body of a homeless dog. As a result, the animal transforms into the man Poligrafovich Sharakov. In the end of the novel, Preobrazhensky performs another operation to return him to the dog's state. Interesting. The popular novel of horror and mystery, The Strange Tale of Panorama Island, 1926, by the author Ranpo Edogawa, was inspired by Wells' novel. The title figure in Argentinian writer Adolfo Bioy Caceres' novel The Invention of Moral, 1940, a scientific genius of questionable morality, alludes to Wells' Moreau. In Chapter 1 of Daniel Pinkwater's novel Lizard Music, 1976, Victor watches a late night film on TV, which is identified in Chapter 2 as The Island of Dr. Morbo. It's interesting that someone just name drops Dr. Moreau in their own book. I wonder how that would go down these days. If, like, well, obviously it'd have to be like, not like someone in Star Wars referencing Bilbo Baggins or anything, right? It's interesting. In Chapter 1 of Daniel Pinkwater's novel, oh, we just read that, Moreau's Other Island, 1980, by Brian Aldiss, is an updating of the original to a near-future setting. U.S. Undersecretary of State Calvert Madel Roberts is cast ashore on the eponymous island, where he discovers the cyborgized thalidomide. What is that? Thalidomide? It's a medicine that treats cancer? Okay. Victim Mortimer Dart carrying on Moreau's work. It transpires that Dart's work is intended to produce a replacement race that can survive a post-nuclear environment, and that Roberts approved Dart's funding. The Island of Dr. Death and Other Stories, 1980, by Gene Wolfe. JLA, Island of Dr. Moreau, 2002, is a one-shot tale where Dr. Moreau creates an animal version of the Justice League, as in the novel that they start returning to their animal behavior. As in he makes animal versions of the Justice League? Okay, is that a comic book? Okay. Dr. Franklin's Island, 2002, by Anne Hallam, is a lucid adaptation of the story in which the eponymous scientist performs transgenic experiments upon the narrator and two other survivors of a plane crash, transforming them into mostly animal hybrids. In The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Volume 2, that's a comic, seemingly, 2002-2003, Moreau is relocated to the South Downs by the British government, where he continues his experiments, creating a number of children's characters, such as Rupert Bear, Mr. Toad, and Peter Rabbit. He is also stated to be the uncle of the painter Gustave Moreau. He makes Rupert Bear, like the Rupert, the polar bear in the red sweater and yellow pants and the yellow scarf. That Rupert Bear? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Alright. In Moon Over Soho, 2011, by Ben Aronovich, the investigation into the Faceless Man uncovers a deserted sex parlor which the malign wizard's predecessor had operated in the 1970s. Upon learning that it had specialized in magically altered human chimeras with animalistic features, Peter nicknames it the Strip Club of Dr. Moreau. Okay. Sherlock Holmes, The Army of Dr. Moreau, 2012, by Guy Adams, puts Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson on the trail of several of the hybrids on the loose in London. The Madman's Daughter Trilogy, 2013. Hi DJ, I'm doing good. We're just reading some Wikipedia to close the night out here. But Megan Shepard tells the story of Dr. Moreau's daughter Juliet. Each book is based on a different classic novel. The first book is based on this novel by Wells. The second one on Robert Louis Stevenson's Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1886, and the final book is based on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, 1818. In Chapter 61 of The Fallen, 2013, Book 5 of Charlie Higson's post-apocalyptic horror series, The Enemy, the expedition party from the museum, encounters a strange set of malformed children at the biomedical company Prometheus, who recite the litany of the law. Interesting. Okay. Book 5, huh? Okay. Interesting. I'm learning things. The Isles of Dr. Moreau, 2015, in Heather O'Neill's short story collection, Daydreams of Angels, tells of a grandfather who, when he was young, meets an eccentric, albeit humane scientist named Dr. Moreau. On the Isle of noble and important and respectable betterment of Homo sapiens and their consorts. Moreau's experiments involve combining animal DNA with human DNA, and the story unfolds as the grandfather meets and dates several of these humanoid creatures. Okay. Okay. In Wonder Woman Chapter 76, 2016, Greek goddess Aphrodite is reading a book with the title The Island of Dr. Moreau. The Strange Case of The Alchemist's Daughter, 2017, by Theodora Goss, features the half-finished Puma woman from the island of Dr. Moreau as one of its main characters, Catherine. That's kind of cool. How are you, DJ? I hope you're doing okay. The Doctor of Dr. Moreau, 2022, by Silvia Moreno Garcia, is a novel billed as a dreamy reimagining of the island of Dr. Moreau set against the backdrop of 19th century Mexico. Interesting. In music, the song Toes by the alternative rock band Glass Animals is based on the book's story. The music video for the song Eaten Alive by Diana Ross, with Ross playing the role of the Panther Woman. The song No Spill Blood by Oingo Boingo. This is quite a name. Okay. The song Island of Lost Souls by the Meteors. The debut studio album by the American new wave band Devo was titled Q. Are we not men? Answer. We are. Oh, question. Are we not men? Answer. We are Devo. Okay, 1876, from a line in the Litany of the Law, spoken by the Speaker of the Law to the Beast Folk. Hip-hop group House of Pain took their name from the novel. The sophomore studio album by the new metal band Tala, titled The Generation of Danger, 2022, is, as stated by vocalist Justin Bonitz, inspired by the book's story. Cool. The lyrics to Supernature by Cerrone were built around the novel. Okay. In radio, David Calcutt adapted this story for a BBC Radio 4 Saturday Night Theatre dramatization in 1990 with Kenneth Coley as Montgomery, Gerard Green as Moreau, and Terry Malloy as Mling, Kim Wall as Prentice, and Neil Foster as Prentice's nephew. Jonathan Price read a 5-part abridgment for the book at Bedtime on BBC Radio 4 in 2008. In 2017, Big Finish Productions adapted this story into a 2-hour audio drama starring Ronald Pickup as Dr. Moreau, with John Heffernan as Edward Prendick and Enzo Salenti as Montgomery. In television, the American animated TV show South Park featured a reoccurring character, Dr. Alphonse Mephisto from 1997, who seems to be based on the 1996 Brando portrayal of Dr. Moreau, a mad scientist who experiments on animals and is even the president of the North American Marlon Brando Lookalike Association. The Thriller Bark 2008 story arc in the anime series One Piece draws heavily from the novel. It includes a surgeon named Dr. Hogback, who disappears from the public eye and begins to work on animal-human hybrid zombies, as well as several characters who are direct references to the beast folk from the novel, like Absalom, who has the snout of a lion, the skin of an elephant, and the combined muscles of a bear and gorilla. The Canadian cartoon series Spliced? Wait, I think I've watched this before. I think I've seen this. I think I watched this on like Cubo or something. Hold on. I need to do some googling. Just open a memory hole and pull something out. Yeah. It did. Yeah, there's like a pig, chicken, cow guy, and a little orange guy that I can't remember what he is. Okay. What was it on? When did it air? It was on Cartoon Network and Jetix. I like vaguely remember this. Like super vaguely remember this. It's available on Tubi for free. Apparently, there's also episodes on YouTube. Probably re-uploads by someone else. Interesting. Okay, yeah, because I remember the like pig chicken thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Sorry about that. Thank you for sticking through the ad break. Excuse me. All you missed was me going, opening a memory hole and pulling out this show called Spliced. Apparently, it was based on the island of Dr. Moreau. I did not know that. One of the main characters is like a pig, chicken, cow thing. Like I vaguely remember this. Apparently, it was on Cartoon Network and Jetix. I like vaguely remember this. Like I don't remember like anything about the plot or anything like that. But like this. These images are familiar to me. So I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, it's a lighthearted take on the concept. In Orphan Black 2013-2017, a BBC America sci-fi thriller series, the book plays an important role beginning in the third season. An old copy of the book contains Professor Duncan's cryptic key to human cloning. The fourth season establishes an island similar to Moreau's called West Moreau, referred to in the series as simply the island of Dr. Moreau. On the island, a Dr. Moreau type figure, P.T. Westmoreland, is the reclusive head of a mysterious and powerful scientific elite who performs experiments on human subjects. Much of the fifth season is set on the island. The 2020 Japanese anime series BNA Brand New Animal appears to have been influenced by the novel with the concept of a place inhabited by human-animal hybrids with lab experiments about the biology of the human-animal hybrids. And then there's a bunch of episodes here. Individual episodes for shows. Okay. In the episode, What's Michelangelo Good For? 1990 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Dr. Lesso is a scientist. Moreau Lesso? That's good. I like that. Is a scientist who creates hybrids. Hi, Ninetale. You want a good girl? Okay. We're just reading Wikipedia. Probably gonna call on it here soon.
Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Thank you for being here, Ninetale. Thank you for spending time with me on the streams. Thank you for lurking and chatting. Thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you. Good Mwah. Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Ninetale, thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. I think it makes the world a better place, in my humble opinion, anyway.
Sorry about that.
Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Such a good girl. Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Yes, you are. Such a good girl. Look at you being such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Such a good girl. Mwah. 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 Good girl. Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Mwah.
There you go, Ninetale. Hope that was okay for you. We'll probably just finish out this Wikipedia page and then read out. Alright. The Batman the Animated Series episode Tiger Tiger 1992 borrows heavily from the story where a mad scientist named Dr. Emil Dorian, voiced by Joseph Mayer, creates the cat-like artificial life form Tiger, spliced the DNA of a human and a gorilla to create his henchman Garth, and turns Selena Kyle into an actual Catwoman. The third season Sliders episode, The Slide of Paradise 1997, features an island where a scientist, played by Michael York, co-star of the 1977 film adaptation, has created human-animal hybrids. In the Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode, The Begotten, 1997, changeling policeman Odo deplores the experimental investigation of his physiology during infancy by his teacher, Dr. Mora. In the episode Brainwashed, 1998, of Pinky and the Brain, Snowball guides the protagonists to the lair of Dr. Mordeau. The Johnny Bravo episode, The Island of Mrs. Marcio, 2002, features the scientist Dr. Moore, voiced by Jennifer Hale, who turns people into animal hybrids, where she turns Johnny into a hamster hybrid. Sorry about that. The Courage the Cowardly Dog episode, Club Cats 2000, is a spoof on the novel, but the victims are turned into machines instead of animals. The Simpsons annual Halloween special adapted the novel as a segment in their Treehouse of Horror XIII. 13? Maybe? Episode 2002. Episode 2002, called The Island of Dr. Hibbert, in which the Doctor invites unsuspecting Springfield residents to his island resort and turns them into human-animal hybrids, including Homer to a walrus, Marge to a panther in reference to Lota from the original Island of Lost Souls movie, Lisa to a hawk, Bart to a spider, Maggie to a giant anteater, Mr. Burns to a fox, Waylon Smithers into a flamingo, Chief Wiggum to a pig, groundskeeper Willie to an orangutan, Ned Flanders to a cow centaur, and comic book guy to a fawn-themed parody of the Sayer of the Law. In the Mighty Boosh episode Mutants 2004, the zoo animals are mysteriously disappearing, and we discover that Bainbridge and Bob Fossil have been splicing the animals together in a secret lab. The episode Venture Libre 2013 of the Venture Bros featured an island that Dr. Venture visits filled with, among other strange creatures, animal-human hybrids resulting from unethical experiments performed by unscrupulous scientists. In the anime and manga series Vanitas no Carte, there's an antagonist character named Dr. Moreau, a mad scientist inspired in the same Moreau from the novel. Interesting. Oh, I need to finish that anime still. That's cool. I never finished it. I never finished Vanitas. I knew it sounded familiar. In cinema, El de Epouvante, 1913, The Island of Terror, a French silent film also spelled L'Île de Epouvante and Isle de Epouvante. The 23-minute two-reel film directed by Joe Hammond in 1911 was then released in 1913. By late 1913, the film had been picked up by U.S. distributor George Klein and renamed The Island of Terror for its release in Chicago. Die Insel der Verschollen in 1921, a German silent adaptation directed by Urban Gad. Island of Lost Souls, 1932, with Charles Lawton as Dr. Moreau and Bela Lugosi as the Slayer of the Law. In the film, Dr. Moreau creates his beast folk through plastic surgery, blood transfusions, gland extracts, and ray baths. In addition, the Sayer of the Law is depicted as a wolf-like humanoid. Another addition is Lota, Kathleen Burke, a woman Moreau derived from a panther set upon to mate with Edward Richard Ireland, so Moreau can find out whether or not she can bear human children. Lota was not a character from the original novel. The closest is a half-finished puma woman, but filmmakers of future adaptations apparently loved her so much they included a feline love interest in their adaptations, which include Barbara Carrera as Maria in the 1977 version, and Fairuza Balk as Isa in the 1996 version. Citation needed. Terror is a Man, 1959, with Francis Greta Thyssen and Richard Derr. This Filipino film, directed by Gerardo de Leon, was re-released in the United States years later as Blood Creature. Mouth sounds, okay. Okay. We're almost to this article.
Okay, just heads up. I'm gonna do some mouth sounds. So if those aren't your deal, you don't like them, whatever. Feel free to mute the tap. Step away, get a snack, come back. We should be done by then. It'll just be a few minutes. A minute or two.
There you go, Brad. Thank you for the redeem. Thank you. Hope those were okay for ya. Alright, let's get through this. At the age of 13, Tim Burton made an amateur adaptation on Super 8 of Wells' novel as The Island of Dr. Agor, 1971. The Twilight People, 1972, starring John Ashley and with an early role for African-American actress Pam Grier, is Eddie Romero's version of the original story, The Twilight People. Okay. The Island of Dr. Moreau, a 1977 film with Burt Lancaster and Michael York. In this film, Dr. Moreau injects the animals with a serum containing human genetic material. The savior of the law is depicted as a humanoid wild boar. The Island of Dr. Moreau, 1996. A New Line produced film with Marlon Brando, Val Kilmer, David Thewlis, Fairuza Balk, and Ron Perlman. In this film, Dr. Moreau introduces human DNA into animals in his possession to make them more human. The film's version of the Sayer of the Law is depicted as a blind sheep/goat-like hybrid. Unlike the books and earlier films, the Sayer of the Law survives the ordeal and sees off the main protagonist. The sequel, Spy Kids 2: The Island of Lost Dreams, 2002, a lunatic scientist named Romero, portrayed by Steve Buscemi, creates miniature hybrid animals on a mysterious island where technology fails to work. Unfortunately, some of them grow upon being discovered to an experimental growth formula, causing Romero to remain in his lab to avoid being eaten. These creations include spider monkeys, a half-monkey, half-spider creature with a drider-like appearance, slizzards, a lizard with a snake head and neck, sporks, a pig/stork variation of a flying pig, turtleroos, a creature with the head and shell of a turtle and the body of a kangaroo, bullfrogs, a cattle with the hindquarters of a frog, catfish, a cat with the head of a fish, a cat with the head and tail of a fish, horseflies, a horse with the head and wings of a housefly, sheepdogs, a sheep with the head and legs of a bulldog, and tiger sharks, a tiger with the head and back fin of a bull shark. After having been briefly captured by Donegan Giggles, Romero is confronted by his creations who don't eat him as he had feared. The hybrids help thwart Donegan's plot to use the trans-smooker, where the spork snatches it and Slizzard eats it. The film Dr. Moreau's House of Pain, 2004, made by cult horror studio Full Moon Pictures, is billed as a sequel to the novel. Interesting. In 2013, the 2013 film Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 shares similarities with the novel. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 came out in 2013. It came out in 2013? It wasn't like 2015, 2016? Goodness, that makes me feel old. Sheesh. Christopher Lambert plays Dr. Moreau in the 2018 Italian horror film La Voce del Lupo. In gaming, in the 1997 video game Fallout, a grossly mutated human by the moniker of Master shares similar characteristics with Dr. Moreau, including his original surname. Dungeons & Dragons has an antagonist named František Markov, who lives on an isle in Ravenloft in 1983 to 2021, where he experiments on animals to make them human. The 2000 video game Metal Slug 3's first mission is an island called Pella's Island, which it was also called Dr. Moreau's Island, featuring mutated animals, albeit as the result of nuclear experimentation. The 2003 strategy video game Possible Creatures centered around creating armies of animal hybrids, was largely inspired by the novel. Vivisector Beast Within is a Ukrainian-developed first-person shooter game developed on the CIS developed in the CIS in 2005 and later in the rest of Europe in 2006. The game is heavily inspired by the novel, originally developed as a Duke Nukem title. Interesting. The video game Champions Online 2009 features Dr. Felipe Moreau, the grandson of Dr. Henry Moreau and member of the terrorist organization Viper, short for Venomous Imperial Party of the Eternal Reptile. Felipe used his technology to perfect his father's work, where he created the Manimals. Okay. Dr. Merlot, the main villain of the 2016 game Ruby Grim Eclipse, is heavily inspired by Dr. Moreau. There's a Ruby video game? Okay. Resident Evil Village 2021 features as one of its primary antagonists a mutant named Salvatore Moreau. In-game journal entries describe his experiments on other human subjects with the same parasitic organism that caused his grotesque transformation. Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves 2005 features Dr. M as the game's main antagonist, who has turned the island housing the Cooper Vault into a private fortress complete with mutant animal guards patrolling the island. Dr. M is himself an anthropomorphic mandrill who has grafted his own body with cybernetic machinery to allow him to control his mutant creations. In The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt 2015, Thomas Moreau, a character in the game, attempts to reverse Witcher mutations on his son. Instead, the experiment strengthened the mutations, making Jerome less human. In the Mass Effect 3 Citadel DLC 2013, pilot Jeff Joker Moreau makes a reference. Joker's last name is Moreau? Okay. Makes a reference to the book in a fictional story he tells about defeating a number of soldiers, in which he says, "You just landed on the island of Dr. Me." In Honkai's Star Rail, the character Ruan Mei is a scientist who creates life forms to try and find the origin of life, and her creations would eventually form their own civilization in Seclusion Zone in Herta Space Station. Scientific plausibility. In the short essay, The Limits of Individual Plasticity, 1895, H.G. Wells expounded upon his firm belief that the events depicted in The Island of Dr. Moreau are entirely possible, should such vivisective experiments ever be tested outside the confines of science fiction. Until recently, modern medicine has shown that non-human animals lack the necessary brain structure to emulate human faculties like speech. In addition, immune responses to foreign tissues make transplantation within one species very complicated, let alone between species. However, a team of researchers at Stanford University have successfully transplanted a cluster of living human brain cells from a dish in the lab to the brain of a newborn rat to study neurological conditions such as autism, ADHD, and schizophrenia. Further reading, extra links. Alright, we're done. Goodness, that was interesting. I'll have to try to remember to read the article for the Tunguska event. Tunguska? I think it's Tunguska. The Tunguska event later. Alright, let's see who we can raid here. We might go say hi to Yui. Who is this? We'll make some new friends here. Alright, give me a second to sort my headphones on, and I'll be right back. Okay. 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 I'll go say hi to this person. They haven't hit 100 follows yet, so let's go say hi. Let's get them there. They're reading, so try to spell this right. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow for Monster Hunter Stories. And thank you, Rookie M, for the follow, and thank you for the bit while running. Thank you. I hope you guys had a nice time tonight. I had fun reading about that book. That was cool. I didn't know it inspired one of my favorite video games. One of the first video games I ever played. Probably on like count on like two hands. One of the first like maybe 10 games I ever played in my life. Maybe, I don't know. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please be nice. This person has not hit 100 follows yet. Maybe they have. I don't know. But as of now, looking at the about section here, it is 99. So you could be their 100th follow. But please sleep well, get some good rest. Don't forget to brush your teeth, drink some water. But before that, eat something if you haven't yet. Put on some warm pajamas. It's cold outside. I love you guys lots. Thank you for spending time with me tonight. Good night, Bread. Good night, Ninetale. Good night, Teto. Good night, DJ. Good night, Rengoku. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Mwah.